There's a lot going on with Bianca Belair, so we'll see what's new there. We'll also check out the latest with the Judgment Day, Paul Heyman's secret sauce, and more. Let's start things off with the big news for the Judgment Day. Ever since the Money in the Bank contract came into the group's possession through Damian Priest, there's been a lot of on and off tension amongst the group. Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio's spots in the group always seemed secured, but everyone was assuming that either Finn Balor or Damian Priest will have to go in order to resolve the Judgment Day's ongoing issues. Well, new reports have been released that provide an update to the entire topic of who's leaving the Judgment Day. Reports claim that the long-term plan is for Damian Priest to make an exit from the group at some point down the line of their current story and be replaced by JD McDonough. The part that isn't addressed in the reports is how exactly Damian's exit from the group will be handled. Will he willingly just quit and get tired of the nonsense that's been going on? Or will he be forced to leave the group by Finn Balor? The Judgment Day has no leader, but we've definitely seen Finn lead the charge to kick out members in the past, like with Edge. So it technically wouldn't be the first time Finn Balor brutally kicks someone out of the group. Damian Priest's exit from the group means no true original Judgment Day members will be left in the group. Remember, the group all started off with Edge and Damian Priest. So if Priest is out soon, that leaves Rhea Ripley as the one with the longest time in the Judgment Day. Reports claim that Damian Priest will still be a huge deal once he's on his own. He's still got the Money in the Bank contract. He's right there on the brink of becoming a main event superstar and world champion. So if anything, leaving the group should only increase Damian Priest's stock. If the reports are true, that means that Finn Balor will be staying in the group and also be getting his wish of bringing JD into the Judgment Day, which obviously is a great thing for JD McDonough. As stated many times in the past, being in the Judgment Day has elevated the status of every single member that has joined. Finn Balor, Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest, and Dominic Mysterio are all in better places right now than they were prior to joining the group. So being in the Judgment Day truly brings out everyone's best efforts and helps to establish them. So if JD gets in there, everyone assumes that it's really going to help him make a name for himself and quickly rise through the roster rankings on Raw. Even though the endgame for the storyline is out there with this report, it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the story pieces together. Like if Finn Balor truly does force Damian Priest out of the Judgment Day, how would Rhea and Dominic feel about that? Rhea and Damian are close friends. Damian played a big role in recruiting her to the group. So is she just gonna be accepting of what Finn is doing? Or will she give Finn some sort of kickback for the entire situation as well? So there's a lot of question marks there regarding how Rhea Ripley will fit into this whole story of Damian Priest leaving the group. And with Finn's actions, they even cause further tension with the Judgment Day to the point that Rhea and Dominic even step away. Things are definitely going to get extremely interesting for the Judgment Day in the near future. As expected, no Bloodline members were on the August 18th edition of SmackDown. No Roman, no Usos, and no Solo Sikoa. But who was at SmackDown was Paul Heyman, who was asked by Roman Reigns to handle this situation of taking part in an interview with Kayla Braxton regarding the status of the Bloodline. So Kayla asked for an update, but Paul Heyman doesn't really budge and asks Kayla if she would like to talk about her family instead. But as Heyman is trying to get rid of the interview, he receives a phone call from someone. Now, usually when Paul Heyman is on the phone, we're to automatically assume that it's Roman Reigns on the other end of the phone. But if you go back and watch this segment, at no time does Paul Heyman greet the caller by saying Tribal Chief, implying that whoever Paul Heyman was talking to wasn't Roman Reigns. If that was Roman on the phone, Heyman definitely would have called him Tribal Chief about 4 to 5 times during the phone call. But Heyman never said it at all. The mystery source gave Paul Heyman the information that Jimmy Uso will be returning on the August 25th edition of SmackDown and then hangs up the phone. Paul Heyman then delivered the news to Kayla Braxton, but when she asked who was on the phone, Heyman didn't answer and just said it was one of his sources. So, the big moment to take away from this segment is obviously that Jimmy Uso is coming back to SmackDown to most definitely further address his recent actions, and of course his brother Jay quitting the WWE. There may be no Roman and Jay, but Jimmy could keep the story progression going all by himself. But the other intriguing part fans are focusing on here from this segment was Paul Heyman's mystery source. Is the mystery person behind the phone call part of the story, and something that will be revealed here in the coming weeks? Or will nothing come of that mystery source phone call? It's just really interesting because they spent a lot of time making sure the audience knew that it wasn't Roman Reigns who was on the phone with Paul Heyman. So could we be getting another big reveal there for that mystery caller in the future? Whoever it was has to be close with the Bloodline in some way because they knew about Jimmy's intentions to show up on SmackDown a whole week in advance. And whoever the person is on the call is just leaking everything to Paul Heyman. So we'll have to see if the mystery source will get a bigger role in the story, or if it's just a one-off character solely for this backstage segment. Fans are also curious about what's going on with Bianca Belair. Bianca was recently on SmackDown for the first time since SummerSlam to take on Bayley and Iyo in a tag team match with Charlotte Flair. Bianca ended up picking up the win over Bayley, looking like maybe Bianca was building a case to become a #1 contender. But shortly after the match takes place, Damage CTRL unleashed a brutal attack on that same storyline injured knee from SummerSlam. And with the style and how the backstage attack was done, it gave many fans feeling that Bianca's gonna be gone for a while. It felt like one of those major moments of a big superstar getting written off of WWE television. So we'll have to see if this attack was done to keep Bianca out of the story for a few weeks, or if this really will be one of those much longer breaks for Bianca. Losing Bianca from WWE television is a massive blow because she's one of the biggest attractions in the entire women's division. So WWE will have to work around her absence, and another woman will definitely have to step up to the plate to fill those shoes. Damage CTRL's plan was pretty smart though. They know that Bianca is probably the biggest threat to Iyo's title right now, especially considering how Iyo won the title. So Bayley just set that plan up to fully take Bianca out of action, so that Iyo wouldn't have to worry about Bianca coming after her. Obviously, Damage CTRL can't just attack every single potential challenger, so it'll be interesting to see who steps up to be that first big challenger for Iyo. And of course, given Bayley's past, we always have to keep an eye on Bayley for what she's up to as well. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.